A woman in Phoenix canceled her gym membership last year, not because she couldn't afford it, because she realized she was paying $80 a month to feel guilty about a treadmill she never used, and she'd rather put that money somewhere it could actually grow. Nobody thought this was interesting. Her friends didn't ask about it. Her Instagram didn't blow up. But 18 months later, that boring decision, stacked with a dozen others just like it, quietly built her a passive income stream most people spend their whole lives chasing. Here's the strange part. Nobody becomes wealthy the way movies show it. There's no envelope of cash, no dramatic stock pick, no single lucky break. Real financial freedom sneaks in through the back door while you're doing something else. And most people never notice it happening to them. Not because they're not paying attention, but because they're watching for the wrong signal. So I need to ask you something, and I want you to actually sit with it for a second. When was the last time you checked your net worth instead of your bank balance? Most people can't answer that. And that gap between what your money looks like today and what it's quietly becoming is exactly where this video lives. There's a moment coming up in this list, the seventh sign, that completely rewired how I think about spending versus building. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but once you hear it, you won't be able to unsee it in your own life. By the time we're done here, you'll be able to walk into any room, a family dinner, a work happy hour, a college reunion, and read the real financial trajectory of the people around you, not the flashy ones, the quiet ones, because they're the ones actually building generational wealth while everyone else is financing the appearance of it. Let's start with something almost nobody talks about: boredom. Genuine, deliberate, chosen boredom. The people quietly getting rich are often doing the most unremarkable things with their money, over and over without fanfare. There's a study out of Fidelity that looked at their best performing accounts over a 10-year stretch. You'd expect the top performers to be active traders glued to charts, making moves. Instead, the best accounts belonged to people who had forgotten they even had the account. Some were literally deceased and their estates hadn't been updated yet. The lesson buried in that data is almost uncomfortable. Doing nothing consistently beats doing something impressively. If your financial life feels exciting right now, that might actually be a warning sign, not a good one. Contrast that with a guy I'll call Marcus, a dental hygienist outside Atlanta. Marcus doesn't talk about money, ever. He drives a Corolla that's older than some of his patients, but he automated $600 out of every paycheck into an index fund the week he got his license, and he has never once turned it off. Not during the pandemic, not during a market crash, not when his friends were showing off Bitcoin gains at every dinner party for 2 years straight. He wasn't smarter than them, he was just quieter and quieter compounded. Which brings us to the second sign, and this one stings a little. People who are quietly becoming wealthy have stopped explaining their purchases to anyone. Think about that for a second. When you buy something and immediately feel the urge to justify it to a partner, a friend, a stranger on the internet, that's not really about the purchase. That's about needing external validation for an internal decision. Wealthy and waiting people don't do this. They buy the thing or they don't buy the thing. And either way, the decision ends with them. There's no performance attached to it. This connects to something Morgan Housel wrote about in The Psychology of Money. The idea that wealth is actually what you don't see. The car's not purchased, the vacation's not taken to impress a feed. Wealth is the option you didn't cash in, sitting quietly in an account, growing. What you see when you look at someone is their spending. What you don't see is their net worth. And the two are almost always inversely related for the people trying hardest to look rich. Here's the third sign, and it's a physical one, which surprises people. Their sleep changes. Financial stress lives in the body before it ever shows up on a spreadsheet. People who are quietly stabilizing financially, building that emergency fund, paying down debt, automating investments, often report sleeping deeper without knowing why. There's actual research on this from behavioral economists studying financial security and cortisol levels. Money anxiety isn't abstract, it's a hormone. And when people finally build a 6-month cash cushion, something in their nervous system exhales, even if they never consciously notice the shift. If you've been sleeping better lately and can't explain why, check your savings account. It might be telling you something before your brain catches up. Now, here's the fourth one, and this is where I want you to lean in, because this is the one that separates people who talk about passive income from people who actually build it. The quietly wealthy stop confusing motion with progress. They're not hustling 19 hours a day, posting about grinding, romanticizing exhaustion. A woman named Priya, a high school biology teacher in Sacramento, started renting out a spare room in her house through a property she inherited. Not glamorous, not a side hustle she talks about online. It brought in $900 a month, which she funneled entirely into a Roth IRA. 5 years later, that unglamorous $900 a month had become a six-figure retirement account, growing completely on autopilot while she graded papers and lived her actual life. She didn't need 10 income streams. She needed one that worked, left alone for a long time. That's the fifth sign. Actually, they stop chasing more streams and start protecting the ones that already work. There's a trap a lot of ambitious people fall into, thinking wealth is about diversification of hustle. It's not. It's about identifying the thing that compounds and refusing to touch it, refusing to rate it for a vacation, refusing to just borrow a little against it. The quiet millionaires treat their compounding assets like a sleeping animal. You do not poke it, you do not disturb it, you let it sleep and grow. Now, the sixth sign is going to feel almost too simple, but stay with me, because simple is exactly the disguise wealth wears. They read their statements, not skim. Read. Most people are financially illiterate about their own money, not because they're incapable, but because looking feels stressful, so they avoid it. The people quietly building wealth do the opposite. They look at their 401k, they know their interest rates. They know exactly how much debt they're carrying and at what percentage, because avoidance is expensive and awareness is free. And now, sign number 7, the one I promised you earlier, the one that rewired how I see money completely. The quietly wealthy have redefined what an emergency actually is. For most people, an emergency is anything unexpected. A sale, a friend's destination wedding, a limited drop of sneakers, a once-in-a-lifetime trip that somehow happens every 18 months. For the quietly wealthy, an emergency is something that threatens survival. A job loss, a medical event, a broken car that gets you to work. That's it. Everything else is a preference, not an emergency. And preferences get funded only after the future self has been paid first. This single reframe, separating true emergencies from urgent feeling preferences, is worth more than almost any investing advice you'll ever hear, because it protects the compounding you've already built from being interrupted every time life gets exciting for a weekend. Here's where I need to pivot, because everything I've told you so far could accidentally sound like wealth is about deprivation. Cut everything, sacrifice everything, live like a monk until retirement. That's not it, and honestly, that mindset destroys as many people as overspending does. I know someone, brilliant, disciplined, saved 40% of her income for a decade working in logistics management, who never once used that money to actually live. No trip she truly wanted. No dinner she didn't calculate first. She built enormous wealth on paper and almost no life around it. She hit 7 figures at 38 and told me flatly that she didn't feel rich. She felt tired. The quiet wealth we've been talking about this whole video isn't about restriction for its own sake. It's about intention. Spend loudly on what actually matters to you and go completely silent on everything that doesn't. That's the real skill, not saving everything, saving on purpose. Which leads into sign 8. The quietly wealthy have a number, and it's not the number you think. It's not $1 million. It's a monthly figure, the exact amount of passive income required to cover their actual life. Once you know that number, everything changes, because you're no longer chasing an abstract fortune. You're closing a specific, measurable gap. Financial independence stops being a fantasy and becomes a math problem. And math problems get solved. Sign 9 is subtler, and it shows up in conversation. The quietly wealthy ask questions instead of giving opinions when money comes up. Watch a room next time this happens. The person who's actually building wealth tends to ask, "How did you structure that?" Or, "What made you choose that account?" While everyone else is performing certainty they don't have. Curiosity is a wealth signal. Certainty, especially loud certainty, is usually a warning sign because people who are truly secure don't need to convince anyone of anything. And sign 10, the last one, is the quietest of all. They've stopped needing the money to mean something about them. Early on, most of us treat money as a scoreboard. Proof we're smart, proof we're winning, proof we're not the kid who grew up worried about the electric bill. The quietly wealthy eventually let that go. The money becomes just a tool again, not a mirror. And the moment it stops being a mirror is usually the exact moment it starts growing the fastest, because every decision after that is made with a clear head instead of a wounded one. So here's what I actually want you to take from all of this. Wealth was never going to look the way you were taught to expect. It's not the car in the driveway or the trip on the feed. It's the version of your life where money has gone quiet. Not absent, not stressful, just quiet, humming along in the background while you actually get to live. Somewhere out there right now, someone your age in your city, making a completely average salary, is becoming wealthy in total silence, and nobody around them has any idea. It might be your coworker. It might be the person two doors down. It might, if you let it be you, starting with one decision this week that nobody claps for. If even one of these 10 signs hit a little too close to home, hit like, share this with the one person in your life who needs to hear it. Not the loud one, the quiet one, who's already halfway there. And subscribe to continue this journey with me.